Well, revolutionaries will always be sort of looked down upon and will be looked like they're crazy, and they'll call them, say that, you know, that's always what happens to people who fight against the grain. So I don't mind this narrative that is being pushed, because the thing is that as I've just risen to the number 16 player in the world, and I will continue to rise, you know, to be the world champion. And now that I performed at the number 2, my performance in classical was above 2800 in both the blitz and classical. So, you know, right now, not a single person can sow any doubts about my strength, about my real strength.
You know, I listen to some of the things Hans says. I mean, I think they're somewhat misguided, but I also let it roll right off my back. I don't really think about him that much. I'm sure he thinks about me a lot more than I do.
The thing with Hikaru is that I don't have to win. I don't have to beat him today, but he's 36. Like, there's going to be a time that Hikaru's sitting in his pineapple shirt and he's not playing chess anymore. He's just going to have to watch me during the tournament. He's going to be too old to even compete. Like, my reign is going to last so long. Like, he's going to be at the age of like just like he can't even walk anymore, and I'm still going to be winning. I intend on sort of keeping the power.
7, and it's the match. Look at him.
And he knows it, and he does it.
This guy's just a beast.
Oh, he blundered rook a5. No, this did not just happen.
Oh my God! How does he do this?
Gang up on that pawn. You can take it right now. You could bring the other rook to the 6th rank. The patience has been really impressive here, but one last bit of accuracy required. Hans desperately trying to get active.
Well, rook f6 check forces the king to g file. King e7 gets mated.
Oh.
Rook c to e6. That would be a pretty nasty checkmate to see on the board. And otherwise, I feel like Hikaru has a choice. Does he move the rook first? Does he move his knight? He goes back to h3. There's no h6, so g5 is dropping.
That knight it needs to be paid overtime. It could have gone back to f2 if necessary. Now you can go up to g5, back to f4. Now it's a perfect outpost. Take that pawn already, Hikaru.
He could take and then go back to the c file. It's why he didn't take it earlier.
Rook e4 wins.
Knight e6 is the threat.
And if rook c4, king takes d5.
You've been doing your puzzle rush. I saw you doing that before the show. No, it's not. A king h6.
Oh, knight g3.
Yeah, this king can go up the board for black as well. He's pinning the...
Oh, knight f2, f4 mate.
Oh, that is crazy. Look at Hans' time. He's got no time. Rook d7's coming.
And then f4 check is actually going to win the knight. What does Hans do? He's down to 1 second. He's going to lose this game. He drops the e4 pawn.
Okay, will Hikaru take it is the big question. He goes to just double his rooks first, but no, he grabs that pawn, knight back, and now the e-pawn is dangerous.
And Hikaru playing really fast. He feels confident that he can win this game on the board and on the clock. He's got 2 enemies, Hans, that he's fighting as the knight drops back to f5, clearing the red carpet for the e-pawn. Suddenly looks like that pawn, I mean, these obstacles are just going to be blown off the board, and Hans loses on time. It might be 2 or 3 moves away from being over. Hans involves his other rook. Suddenly White's king not feeling as comfortable, but it can hide away on h4. Remember that rook endgame that Hikaru saved against Firouzja? Hans is still in the game.
Yeah, it's amazing the way he's able to fight on here. But now after this rook trade, this seems easy at this stage. There are 2 separate pass pawns. The white king is active. You could take b3, but that's not going to stop the d pawn. And Hikaru Nakamura wins. The king is way too slow going after the h pawn.
I don't know, but Hikaru's kings can kind of look like Ferraris, and...
Uh-oh, the king is going after the h pawn. Look at 12 seconds for black.
Knights suck.
Oh my goodness. And he takes it. Is he going to win? He's going to win.
He's going to promote with check.
Hikaru is going to win this game.
Don't go king g7 because that lets the knight access f5. Is the winning move king g6, Robert? Is it king g5?
Let's see. He's calculating. You see, look at him on screen. He is hovering.
Both moves win.
Both moves are winning. He plays king g6.
No.
And this is unbelievable.
No, but to go for the a pawn when it was clear that the h pawn was falling, that is just a mindless decision by Hans. He's going to lose this game, but you still have to convert this. Knight and pawn versus queen can be tricky, Robert.
But in
a2, he's allowed. No, a2, queen g8.
Okay, so where's king b3? So the king is actually going to hide in enemy territory. And how do you win this now?
Well, Hikaru had a chance to put the queen on a2, and that would have completely paralyzed any further chances the black had. Now he can't get the queen a2 anymore.
So he's going to keep giving a bunch of checks. We're going to have to keep an eye on the 50-move rule if no pawns or captures are made. But the a2 threat forces him to keep giving these checks.
Hans does not deserve to lose this game, so I think he's earned a draw here. But people assume that as long as the pawn isn't on a2, it's winning. Not so fast.
Oh
he's allowed queen a2 again! And he missed it again.
But he's still winning because his king is so close.
Oh my gosh, but how do you win this?
Queen a4,
king and zag,
king b3.
Finally.
Oh my goodness. And Hans creative ways. 1 second for Hans. Now Hikaru's up a pawn once more and can play this game out.
I think Hikaru's going to win this. I think Hans might lose his patience. He might say, I'm tired of defending this. And now it's actually a hard draw. He has to do the alternate Philidor. No, he can take in King G2. He missed it.
Oh my
G2
gosh.
was a draw there, Robert.
And he slaps himself in the face. He cannot believe what's happened here. Oh no.
Holy mokes. Queen F6 is coming. And do we care about this rook on D1?
No, because there's also, not only is F7 hanging, bishop H6 in many positions. So queen takes F6 is a knockout. Look at Hikaru. He used to have a show called Nakamura's Knockouts, and this is one of them.
And you want to hear the worst part is bishop H6. It would be winning normally, but it also comes with a discovered attack against the queen to make matters even worse. And matters could not possibly be worse for Hans's comeback chances because this lead has spiraled into a complete tailspin. It'll be at 6. And Hikaru versus Ali Reza. This is giving off those kinds of vibes. But Hikaru has a proven track record of comebacks. He wasn't able to make one. Now the knight to B5.
But that knight comes to D3. And apparently that was a huge
Queen C7.
Oh my
Knight
goodness.
F3.
Oh, the king on H2 is misplaced, so there's discovered attack. Look at Hikaru. He sees it. Look at that face.
Ooh. I mean, he doesn't want to look at this. This is painful. The bishop on C3.
Oh my goodness. Wind blowing in his hair. Oh my goodness. Because even if you play some kind of rook G1 check, you just take with the rook and get a queen again. So this pawn is just too strong for Hikaru.
Cannot catch a break. D7 also probably winning, but not as effective because maybe queen D8 prolongs the game, but it does give up the rook.
Yeah, I don't think Hikaru is too worried about that one. And rook G1 check in another universe would be a really nasty move from the black side, but it doesn't work when there's a pawn about to promote.
Yeah, king H1. He only needs one pawn. This is about to be an 11-point lead. One queen replaces another. One win replaces another. Queen takes C7, queen F4. There's no threats here, Robert. Maybe queen G1 and F2, though.
That would be a pretty big threat, but it looks like the black king is being checkmated first. Another win. Magnus and Alireza back tomorrow.
You could not ask for anything better. There's been so much anticipation going into this weekend, and you almost want the anticipation to continue. It's like that present you've been looking for, and you don't want to unwrap it. But I don't think any of us have regretted what we've seen thus far, and the most entertaining part very likely still ahead. I mean, Hikaru doing things to Black's kingside here that I don't want to speak about.
You said entertaining, and suddenly there's a knight sack on G6. The black king went up and back, and Hikaru, he is doing well on the clock. He could take king H2. I mean, that's just such a Hikaru move. That's rook B1, rook G1.
Oh my gosh.
And he's only going to take the pawns on the king side when he's good and ready.
You read his mind. I thought he was just sort of, putting his old Russian schoolboy hat on. No, he is putting his I want to checkmate you in 3 moves hat on.
Was that a statement win?
Well, I mean, the fact is 3 of the 4 players here are at a certain level. I mean, maybe yesterday didn't go my way, but I think it showed that, that when Hans says all these things, he's just not at the same level.
Magnus said yesterday that he said that he thinks Hans is significantly stronger now than he was 2 years ago. What is your perspective on that?
I mean, honestly, having played Hans in some blitz a couple of years ago, I thought he played much better then than he did in the match today, frankly. So I don't know if I agree with that statement in terms of blitz. In classical chess, it's probably true, but I definitely didn't feel like Hans was playing all that great today. So maybe in classical he's better, but I thought the blitz games I played against him in like 2021, 2022, he was a better player than he was today.